question is, why did Allah send the promised Messiah from India? What's the
Why in India?
significance from this?
Why in India?
Yeah.
Right, okay. If he had sent him in China or in England or in America, would you raise the same question or not? He would, if he comes in any part of the world, in Africa or in South America, will you not ask the same question? Right? So he has to come on earth, that's the point. But he has to be an ajami. This is very important. Because Ahmad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in response to the question regarding a verse of Surah Juma, هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم, I am referring to that, وآخرين منهم لما يلحقوا بهم. When he recited this, one of the peasant people, company, inquired who would be those people. He said, Salman Farsi, he was sitting close to him, he put his hand on the shoulder of Salman Farsi and said, Lo kan al-imanu in the thuraya lanalahu rajulun or rijalun. Both, either this or that word was used. Lanalahu rajulun min haulai. Now you know that everybody around him was an Arab. Arab shoulders were plentiful. But he chose the shoulder of only one non-Arab. So this hadith has been interpreted differently. Most people say it means he will be Farsi. He could be, of course, but why can't you translate it as non-Arab? Ajami. Arabi against Ajami. So the greatest of prophets was sent to Arabia. If his perfect slave is sent elsewhere, why should the Arabs have any objection? The same question asked differently was answered by God. They demanded that he should be min qaryatayn azim. Why is he not sent from one of the two great townships? They have a better right. And other questions of similar nature were raised by the kuffar. The answer was, Ahum yaqsimuna rahmat rabbik? Will they distribute Allah's rahmat? So that answer applies to this as well. If Allah has decided to send Imam Mehdi, not from Arabia but from the Ajam, it is he who will decide, who can dictate terms to him. So it also indicates to the Arab to become humble. It's not that they own the proprietary right of being the leaders of the whole world forever. It was because Rasulullah ﷺ appeared there, that is why the Arabs were raised. No, not because it was the Arab right. So this misunderstanding has also been removed from forever. Now read this answer as I have just mentioned. Law kana al-imanu in the thuraya lanalahu rajulun min haulai, and that haulai applies not to the Arabs but to the Ajamis. And then read the verse of the Quran again. It says, the Holy Quran says, وَآخَرِينَ مِنْهُمْ لَمَّا يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ وَهُوَ ذُو الْفَضْلِ الْعَظِيمِ وَاللَّهُ ذُو الْفَضْلِ الْعَظِيمِ. Is there not an indication in that? It's very obvious. Don't expect him to be from you in this time. And don't object if we chose him to be from another place. ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. This was a warning, but unfortunately not well taken. See? It had to be from somewhere. But India, why India particularly? Because India has a country, a province by the name of the Punjab. which was known all over the India as the country or the province of the ignorant, of the illiterate. So Ummiyin is a word which is perfectly applicable to the Punjab. And all the other provinces of India used to look down at the Punjab. Now it has become a seat of learning, of course, but after Masih al-Islam came, not before. Then it was a place of illiterate masses, farmers and things, but they were not respected for their knowledge or their culture or their language. But as such, the Punjab had a distinction as well. Because if somebody was to be raised from the Ummiyin, this was the place where he should have been raised. And then India was a seat of all sorts of debates on religious affairs. This was one country where all religions were found, and all these religions were engaged in a battle of life and death. Christianity versus Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism versus other religions, Hinduism versus other religions, Sikhism in the Punjab as well. So it was an arena for a world fight for the supremacy of religion. And as such, the choice was excellent from every angle. So with the grace of Allah, it has been proved right as well, because the people of the Punjab particularly, who offered their first nusrat to Hazrat Masih alayhi salam, first aid, they went through tremendous sacrifices. Even today, the subcontinent people, particularly in Pakistan, the people of the subcontinent, particularly in Pakistan, they're offering such wonderful sacrifices without flinching that it raises the memory of the early Arabs. So they had that quality in them. Once they accepted, they have been murdered, they have been martyred and dragged into the streets, beaten up in thousands upon thousands. They have been suffering in the jail, rotting in the jails for their right to declare La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Is it not Islam being repeated right from the beginning? So a people who have proved their steel, their metal, to be able to receive Allah's wahi among them and to support it. What is the objection against that? See? Now can you see the wisdom of this? Thank you. Now it's your wisdom we are going to see. I don't say definitely this. I say both are possible, but personally I prefer Ajam Arab, because these are the two major references found in the Holy Quran. Arab or Ajam, Arab or Ajam. But even if it is Persian connotation, which it has, you should remember that the Persia of that time was a much bigger empire than Iran of today. You shouldn't consider both to be the same, geographically the same. There were two empires which ruled the world up to China. One was the whole world, almost whole world. The Western Hemisphere was ruled by the Roman Empire, and the Eastern Hemisphere was ruled by Persia up to China. So these Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, they were all a part of Persia. They were taken over later by Russia, much later. So even if that is true, it applies to Masih Islam all the same. Yet personally I prefer the Ajami meaning, because it makes a good equation. Arab or non-Arab. The greatest of all the people of creation was born in Arabia. So Arabs have got this distinction which nobody can ever share with them. Why should they be jealous if the slave of that holy master comes from elsewhere? They should have some broad-heartedness. Right? He's doing very well now, mashallah. Improving his speed and quality, everything is getting better. Alhamdulillah. And he promised that whenever you feel any difficulty, he will come to support you. But he keeps idling now, sitting idling. You don't have to.
There's no need.
Put your Come on, next.